the hoses went onto the evaporator unit a lot better than I thought they would. Spent a lot less time there. So I attached those, well, the passenger side vent hose and the two for the middle. And let me point out how I routed them, because it appeared it was going to be a real hassle getting them onto the back of this top vent if I routed them the opposite. So this hose, which I'm going to put to this side vent, is the back upper vent over there, and this one is the front upper vent. Okay, and those should both go onto that back of that vent in the middle. This is the one that is going to be going to the passenger side, and you're supposed to have this in here. And this concerns me a little bit because it's hard plastic, and I could see if you just stuff it in there and it's not screwed down, you're going to have a rattle. So I think if I put the hose that goes from this vent to here, up here first, slip this behind it, and then connect it down here, there's enough hose to get me over to the passenger's side without using this. And since there's no other connections there, I'm saving myself two connections that I have to put on that are a pain in the rear. So that is what I'm going to try to do. We'll see how well it works, and I'll report back once I've decided how well that went. So another update. I'm going to try to zoom in on the defrost vent. If you've been following along, you might recall that whenever they had you take the dash pad out and replace the existing vent with their vent, that when I went to put the new vent on, they told you to use the existing screws, and they weren't long enough to hold. So I put in a slightly longer one. I know that's out of focus, but I don't want to re-zoom the camera. Put in a slightly longer one, and then playing around with that vent, trying to get the hose on it, I pulled it out. Now hopefully I can reuse this and I don't have to go find another one, but it's something probably should be aware of if you're going to tackle this job. So here's what I got. I showed you the two hoses for the upper gauge panel vents. Those, I'm going to repeat this, the left hand side one is attached on the back, and the right hand side one is attached on the front of the evaporator. I was able to put that on and screw it back in and then attach it down here. And the thing that I have noticed, all of the attachments to this evaporator were easy. It's all of the other attachments that were a bear. This one for the window, or the defrost vent, terrible. I would suspect that that other piece they gave me, which I didn't use, would probably have been a bear too. But I think I can connect this up to my dash panel and then put the dash panel in place. There's plenty of room behind this dash. There's none of that gauge stuff for the tach and the speedometer, and there's a bunch of stuff in the driver's side that doesn't exist in the passenger side. But the only thing that is over there really is maybe a courtesy light. But now that I'm looking at this, I probably should have paid more attention to this wire here for the power window on the passenger door. I'll have to tie that up out of the way. But I'm not taking off any of those pipes to do that, that's for sure. Now I measured the center console, and the widest it is 9.5 inches. So this is going to be behind the dash panel, and there's plenty of clearance. I'm not worried about that at all. So I think it's time to read the next instructions and find out what they want me to do next. And I can tell you this, if they tell me to put the dash panel on first, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, yeah, the passenger side on first. I'm going to put the instrument cluster in first. That did come out second after the passenger side dash. So I will get the instructions out and see what they say.